Liftoff. Simplify and high. Falcon Go Dragon.
The Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from John F. Kennedy Space Center in Florida this morning. About a minute and a half later, engineers intentionally caused the rocket to explode. Now, as part of that test, the Crew Dragon capsule's rescue system separated from the spacecraft. In a real emergency, the astronauts would be in that capsule and would be brought back down to Earth. The capsule.
As far as we can tell thus far, it is a picture-perfect mission. It went as well as one could possibly expect. And again, dedication. This is a reflection of the dedication of the hard work of the SpaceX NASA teams to achieve this goal. I'm super fired up. This is great.
Deadly winter storm on the move, dumping a dangerous mix of snow and ice from the Great Lakes through the Northeast. That Trooper dash cam take a close look, capturing the close call when a pickup truck lost control on a slick Iowa highway. And whiteouts in a number of states, making for treacherous driving, like here on North Jersey's I-80. Blizzard conditions hammering parts of the highway.
Tonight, a deadly winter storm barreling across the country from the Midwest to the Northeast, bringing heavy snow and treacherous travel conditions. 70 million people under winter weather alerts. In Iowa, this heart-stopping moment caught on camera. A pickup truck sliding off the road, nearly slamming into officers, responding to another incident. Watch again as the truck plows towards them, nearly crushing this person who barely had time to react. In Nebraska, one person killed in a crash. Authorities responding to 200 weather-related incidents since Friday. No travel advisories issued in parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas. Blizzard conditions forcing officials to shut down hundreds of miles of interstates, roads littered with jackknife trucks. Freezing rain and ice wreaking havoc in Pennsylvania. Motorists abandoning cars on the side of the road. New Jersey roads not much better. Heavy snow creating nasty conditions.
Alpine Meadows, avalanche.
Out west, a deadly avalanche at a ski resort near Lake Tahoe.
Looked over to our right and saw the slide start to go. We yelled.
34-year-old Cole Comstock was killed and another man seriously injured.
In villages all over the country, Afghans live in much the same way they have for centuries. There are no gas or electricity lines. People still collect the wood they burn to stay warm in winter. That's how 18-year-old Nasir Ahmad died. His father said he walked to a nearby forest to gather brush for a fire to keep the family warm through the night. But he never came back.
We thought that he went to his sister's house on the other side of the woods. Phone networks do not work at night, so we went there the next day. We found his body in the snow.
Nasir's father said his son probably became tired walking in the heavy snow, and with no one to help him, fell asleep and froze to death. Conditions are miserable for people in Adraskan district. One man in this village said, "Here in the forgotten corners of Afghanistan, people are only living, waiting to die."
The heaviest rainfall in more than a decade has caused deaths and flooding in Jakarta and surrounding areas in West Java. The rain began on Tuesday night and triggered landslides on the city's outskirts. Indonesia's meteorology department has called the rain very extreme. Nearly 20,000 people were stranded as Jakarta's domestic airport was shut down after its runway became submerged. People have drowned and others have died from hypothermia or been electrocuted as power supplies were damaged by the flooding. Thousands were forced to evacuate their homes. Crews are pumping out flooded areas and rescuing those who are stranded. The Indonesian Disaster Agency says the rains and rising rivers have submerged at least 90 neighborhoods. Flooding is common in Jakarta. This is monsoon season, and forecasters say more downpours are on their way.
Sumpahnya harus banget banget. Antri ganti-gantian loh.
Apocalyptic images coming out of Australia right now.
There are now 6 fires burning at emergency levels.
The smoke is so intense and so thick it can be seen from space.
2,000 homes have been destroyed.
6 million hectares of land charred.
A staggering toll on the nation's wildlife.
This is just heartbreaking.
These record-breaking bushfires in Australia have been kicked off by things like lightning strikes, a few cases of arson, and winds.
Touted as the most sustainable Davos ever, climate change and the worries it throws up are at the centre of the 50th edition of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. And the two biggest names to attend this year's conference could not be further apart on the issue: US President Donald Trump and 17-year-old activist Greta Thunberg. The spat between the two came to a head at the United Nations Summit in September.
How dare you! You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
This impassioned speech went viral around the world. Donald Trump gave his take on it in this somewhat sarcastic tweet, prompting Greta to reply by changing her Twitter bio. Months later, it was a similar story. Thunberg's nomination as Time magazine's Person of the Year was described as ridiculous by Trump. He suggested Greta needed to go and see a movie with a friend and chill. Once again, Thunberg changed her Twitter bio to heed Trump's advice, a move praised by many online. The forum in Davos is the first time the two have attended the same event since September. Greta is holding a debate on averting the climate crisis and calling on leaders to abandon fossil fuels. That debate is unlikely to be attended by Trump. Since pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, his administration has been criticized for rolling back environmental protections in the United States.
So I'm going to be going to Davos. I'll be meeting the biggest business leaders in the world, getting them to come here.
Instead, he is focusing on securing more investment from abroad.
Now to the mysterious and deadly virus. Tonight, authorities confirm it is being spread from human to human. It started in China, and it comes as the number of confirmed cases has now quadrupled since we first reported on it on Friday night.
A mysterious respiratory illness with similarities to SARS has healthcare workers around the world, including here in Canada, on alert. At least 45 people have contracted the virus, believed to be connected to animals at a market in central China. There's growing concern human-to-human transmission may be possible, and that's prompted 3 major airports in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, to take precautionary measures.
China says the number of people infected by a mysterious respiratory virus has more than tripled over the weekend. There are now 218 confirmed cases of the new coronavirus virus, most of them in Wuhan, where the outbreak originated. So far, 3 people have died. It's a very serious condition. 4 other cases have been reported outside of China. And scientists say the virus is getting stronger and is being spread by human-to-human contact. And that
Tonight, growing concern about a mysterious deadly virus as thousands of travelers from China are screened at American airports. Chinese health authorities confirming the virus, which began in the city of Wuhan, is spreading from human to human, sickening at least 14 healthcare workers. The number of cases quadrupled over the weekend to over 200. At least 3 patients have died.
We still are learning literally by the hour about how this particular virus is behaving.
Teams from the CDC screening at JFK, LAX, and SFO, taking temperatures and checking for symptoms of the new coronavirus, a virus which mimics the common cold, flu, or pneumonia. Chinese officials testing with thermal devices. Our Bob Woodruff is in Hong Kong.
So here at the train station, you can see a lot of people every 20 minutes pouring in who are coming in from mainland China. And then they come in, they're being monitored and tested for temperatures. So this is growing fear here.
We met this man from San Francisco.
Kind of frightening at all to you, that this is starting to spread?
Oh yes, of course, that's why I'm going home.
Tonight, doctors using lessons learned from that deadly SARS outbreak years ago.
The concern is a phenomenon known as a super spreader, which refers to one individual who's particularly sick with a lot of symptoms of a virus who can then more readily...
Barricaded and guarded by police with masks, Chinese authorities have traced a new deadly virus back to this seafood market in the city of Wuhan. They say a new strain of coronavirus originated here and put an entire region on edge. CNN has obtained this video filmed inside the market showing that more than seafood was on offer for sale. Images of the market from early December taken by a concerned customer indicate it was apparently selling other live wild animals, including skinned birds, snakes, and raccoon dogs, sparking concern that the virus might have been transmitted from animals to humans. CNN has not independently verified this footage posted on Chinese social media site Weibo, which has since been deleted by government censors, according to the poster. When CNN contacted the market, they would not comment. The School of Public Health here at Hong Kong University is a leading authority in the study of emerging viral diseases. Professor Liao Poon is a virologist at the university and was among the first to decode the SARS coronavirus.
I would believe that this Wuhan outbreak was caused by animal virus, and then the animal actually carried this virus and spread to human. And what we know is causing pneumonia, and then they don't respond to normal antibiotic treatment, so which is not surprising. But then in terms of mortality, SARS killed 10% of the infected individual.
Between 2002 and 2003, SARS infected more than 8,000 people and killed 774 in a pandemic that reached 37 countries. Officials say the new virus was first detected in Wuhan on December the 12th. Some of the initial patients were employed at the seafood market. Hundreds of kilometers south of Wuhan, at this market in the southern city of Qingyuan, wild animals are crammed inside cages. Mallard ducks, rodents, even porcupines, to be sold for consumption. It's not a unique sight in markets across China where both animals and humans are in close contact. This footage, not independently verified by CNN, is from Hong Kong broadcaster iCable, filmed on the 6th and 7th of January as the new strain was discovered. No indications any disease is lurking here, but according to the World Health Organization, scenes like this point to the potential risk of a new virus spreading.
These animals, we don't know their history. We don't know what kind of pathogens or viruses that they are having in their body.
In our interface with the animal world, there will always be the danger of spillover. As long as people eat meat, there is going to be some risk of infection.
The coronavirus that causes SARS was traced to the civet cat, a wild animal considered a delicacy in parts of South China. After the SARS outbreak, China outright banned the slaughter and consumption of civet cats in 2004. Local authorities in both Wuhan and Qingyuan tell CNN they don't know anything about the sale of illegal animals at such markets, and there are no open investigations. But 15 years after the ban, in this market in southern China, civet cats are seen lying inside cages, and this stall keeper says he is selling them. Ready for purchase.